The Meeting of the Rats, 37 years later after college, with Bob Chulo, Jack Anderson, and Dick Collins. Hey, here we are in Eastham, Massachusetts. We're at Dick Collins' retirement home, and I'm here to interview him. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody out there. I'm very happy to be visited by two of my oldest and bestest friends, Bob Chulo, aka Sleaze, and Jack Anderson, aka the General. They've come all the way down here to Eastham, Massachusetts to see me today for the first time in damn near 40 years. I gotta say, they both look mighty fine. It's a pleasure to have them here, and I'm looking forward to doing this interview.
An introduction.
Go ahead.
Dick, do you know my good friend Bob Chulo?
I too.
You do. Well, my name's Jack Anderson, and I've been the leader of the Rats for a number of years, and proud of the organization of which Mr. Chulo, aka the Sleaze, and Mr. Collins, aka Cookie Man, have been part of this prestigious organization. And just want to say that I'm here on the interview with Dick, and we're going to hopefully get some information that we can pass along to everybody.
We used to listen to Cheech and Chong, the Big Bamboo. One skit was, "What's your name?" "B.O.B. Bob." "What is it?" "Is it Bob?"
Is Bobby.
Okay, Bob,
All right.
have a seat. First question, Bob, what is your name?
I am here with a couple of
10
old
seconds,
rats,
Bob.
10 seconds.
and the question I'm just going to throw out there.
Starts with a B, ends with a B. 10 seconds, Bob.
B.O.B. Bob. All right. As you can see, it's great to see these guys, especially this guy on my right. He was a roommate of mine, junior year of college, and the guy on my left here, I lived with him when I graduated from college. So there's a connection between us right here. But the first question is, anybody can answer it. What is the best thing that happened to you since you left Bridgewater State University?
Boy, that's a tough one.
Anybody? Do you? All right. Let me rephrase it.
Think my wife will see
Family.
this?
I'd say
I'd
it's family.
If you think my wife is going to see this, I'll say I got married.
Yeah, got married and had a family.
Yeah,
Jack, please look that way.
Okay, got married and had a family.
All
me
right.
too. Yeah.
I would say that. Okay. Next.
Is it okay to be selling us drinking beer on
Yes.
camera?
Yeah,
Is that all right? Does that
That's a
meet
drug
the,
of sorts.
Does that meet the Chulo censorship rules and stuff?
That
that is a drug
is
of
fine.
sorts.
That's fine.
All right.
All right. Next question. Do you think
Wait a minute. What about you?
my family by far is the best thing that ever happened to me?
Okay.
Okay. Next question. Do you think when you were back in college, you would be where you are right now? You know, in your whole life.
No. No.
So you're happy with your life right now and how it turned out.
Yeah. Sure.
Jack?
I concur.
Absolutely. Yep. You know, it's easy to
No
sit back
complaints.
and cry, but yeah, you know, all in all, we've done a hell of a ride.
No complaints.
This will bum us out, but I have to ask it. What has been your greatest loss? I know my answer. My answer would be my mother. My mother passed away like 5 years ago. 6 years ago. So that's my biggest loss.
I think anytime you lose family, it's a big loss. I lost my dad in 1990, and my brother, oldest brother in 2007, and I lost my mom in 2008, and then I just lost another brother recently. So anytime you lose a family member, it's hard because that's, I think, a piece of you that you're without and you'll always remember. And always a little bit of a hole in your heart.
Jack?
I would agree with that.
Okay. Next question. What
you
is?
can tell Jack is the most loquacious of the bunch.
I've lost both my parents, so
Yeah.
you know what it's
Yeah,
like.
it's hard. It is, absolutely.
What is the common thread that I have with you two?
Insanity?
Roommates.
Rats! Rats! We're all
Ding, ding,
rats!
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah!
Yep.
Now, what's What's a thing that Dick and I have in common that you don't have?
That's right.
You two were frat brothers, and I was never a frat brother.
Alright, but there's another thing that
That's
we
right.
have in common.
We're champions.
Oh!
Oh, champions!
That was quick.
That was
That
a
was quick.
stinger!
It was almost like a hot punch.
Wow, you must have been waiting for that for 40 years to
In
say
fact, I
that.
believe the record still stands, but
Yeah.
the general was the highest, they had the most points of any goaltender in the Bridgewater State
I still have
Street
my
Hockey League.
I still have my trophy in my
Do you?
in my work shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now my next
Yeah.
question is,
Did you have like 6 assists, 7 assists that year, General?
But the one thing
Yeah,
that
ton of
happened that we won't forget that year
Yeah.
was Bob Surratt,
Surratt scored.
aka Peppy, scored the only goal that was scored on me in the game that we crushed you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the Boston Bruins playing the Brockton High School, Jack. I mean,
It was, yeah,
you,
it was.
you had
We
a
were good.
superstar. You even went out and got this guy, who
We
was
needed a goalie.
who was our core player.
Jimmy Craig had nothing on this
You
kid
know?
right here.
And
Nothing.
Nothing. What did he jump ship for?
He went for the better team.
yeah.
Imagine
for the price
that.
of what?
Probably a case of beer a night
Cookies.
or something.
Cookies.
Cookies, probably so. Yeah, probably one night when he was hungry because
Yeah.
he didn't eat enough dinner. That used to happen a lot. About 2 in the morning, we'd get hungry because we didn't eat enough dinner.
Yeah.
And anything could happen then. Jack in the Box was a favorite trip on those nights when we were really hungry because we didn't eat enough dinner. That's the only reason, because we didn't eat enough dinner.
Dick Collins' life after college, aka the Cookie Man.
Now you're gonna get it.
It's okay. He
Yeah.
designs, and they just came under scrutiny with the FDA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he's very meticulous with everything he does with his work, with his hands, and with his words when he writes a report. His father was a barrister in India.
Yeah.
We actually went there last Christmas. That was a trip. All the way.
Went to India?
Yeah.
Really?
To Mumbai. For
What was it like?
10
Nice.
days.
Dick, what was it like?
All I gotta say is God bless the USA.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
I went to China in 2004.
I'll
and
show you some pictures later. The street people, there's rich and poor in India.
Oh yeah.
There's no middle class. You're either rich and you have an apartment and a good job and an education, or you live in the streets and you beg.
Yeah.
I have a picture that, to me, is the most telling of the whole trip. There's a little kid. He's got to be 5 or 6 years old, and he's peeing into a sewer
Yeah.
on the side of the street in India because that's how they do
That's
it.
how we did it,
That's
yeah.
their bathroom. That's where they
Yeah.
live. I just don't know. What the tricks are.
Yeah.
So he started taking me fishing, and we got to be really, really tight. He's
Yeah.
a great guy, good friend, very good friend.
Oh, lots of you're surf fishing. You're gonna be out there. You got plenty of time to talk to
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
Till you.
Oh yeah.
Till you
Because
see
there'd be
fucking
nights,
line go.
there'd be nights when
Oh, sorry.
we would walk the beaches. We fished down here before the seals got here.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, the seals moved in and made this a rookery, which is why you see all
So
the
going
great
after the
whites.
great white like that guy in Rhode
Yeah,
Island.
that's
Yeah.
why they got all the great whites now.
Yeah.
Jack's life after college, aka the General, the leader of the Rats.
And I didn't have any problems in the South. It was fine. But I came back up here figuring that I'd see if I could get a job teaching. And I was right when Prop 2.5 hit, so I couldn't get a job. So I went to work for a company that had a position there, and but I didn't have the med-tech's degree. So I worked in their assembly group. I started putting together these medical devices. Did that for 10 years, and I went to a pharmaceutical laboratory. Did that for 15 years.
Wow. Funny how fast that time goes, too.
Oh yeah. Was the director of quality and regulatory at this place, and then I worked in the company's local
Okay,
office.
okay.
Jack's
I gave
month
them
in China.
training in medical device regulations.
Yeah.
So, but then since I was there a whole month. What's wrong with your eyebrow? Since I was there for a whole month, I did have a couple of weekends that I could go do a little bit of sightseeing and even when I was there, the places that we went to, I spent a week on the mainland in Guangdong, in Dongguan City. And
Guangdong. Oh boy.
Oh,
huh?
my God.
Remembering Michael Saikon, aka the Madman. The boys have some great stories to tell about the young lad.
Talking about Mad Mike Cyclone, I have many fond memories, but most revolve around fishing with the Madman. and after fishing, we might go for a Portuguese clam bake, or we might end up at the Polish National Home and get lost in a bottle of spiritus, which was 200 proof Polish potato vodka. And that's all I remember about the Polish National Home.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Probably the best memory I get of the Madman was when him and I went to one of Mrs. Reardon's Russian classes first thing in the morning. I think it was a Monday or a Wednesday. And let's just say that we were not in the best state of mind when we went to the class. And Mrs. Reardon asked a few questions in Russian, and then she asked Mike a question, and he just sort of lost control and laughed and walked out of the classroom. And then Mrs. Reardon looked at me and said, "Ivan, pожалуйста, Mikhail." And I was like, "I don't know, lady. I'll go find out." And that was it.
With the conclusion of the Rat's Tail, with a couple of my buddies here. Dick had a great suggestion here. Dick, can you elaborate?
Yes, Bob, I'd be glad to. I suggested that we end this session by saying fare thee well, my friends, because goodbye means forever, and I know that we'll meet again. And as the Irish like to say, may your soul be in heaven for half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
Ooh.
And that's that. Long live the rats.
Long live the
Long live
rats.
the rats.
Yes.